Hi everyone, and welcome to Craftie Cafe's design team post, where I've made some MFT and Avery plus W plus 9 gift tags. So lots of products and goodies used in this creation today. So here's the tag up close, and this is where you place that hole on top of the wine tag. So using the Avery Holiday Spirit stamp set and coordinating dies, the W plus 9 Be Merry stamp set and die, MFT wine tag, so that makes it so much easier, plus the 6x6 gingham background stamp set, and then also the Dots and Stripes Christmas specialty paper from Echo Park. Now I've used this Tim Holtz TONIC Studio stamp platform and some watercolor cardstock with some craft cardstock. That craft cardstock is what we'll cut the overall MFT wine tag with. Some vintage sepia VersaFine ink and some wow embossing clear ultra slow ink and some zig color markers, which I'll list in my blog post. So also an aqua brush to help paint and watercolor with as well. Some adhesive, the Couture Creations 3D foam squares, and the thick version of the red line tape, which is super sticky. Now featuring from my hoard vault this Hessian ribbon. I had to it's one of a oldie and a goodie, that one there, and yeah, I just couldn't part with it. So now making sure this platform, I've used the clear side up platform and just inking this up with the VersaFine sepia ink. Usually I use the Onyx black, but I wanted to have more neutral toned down tones for this one, and then just making sure it's good and coated, ready to watercolor. And that's why I chose the VersaFine, because this thing does not move with watercoloring. Now bringing my aqua painter, and because I've got this craft mat, I'm able to scribble the actual zig clean and clear brush markers on there and pick it up with my watercolor aqua painter brush and just paint on. You know that I'm not an expert, so I just happily freely watercolor around, and I'll list the markers definitely in my blog post. So here I am just colouring them in. I'm not making anything fancy, it's just colouring, simple, wash down a little bit. I have no method and technique in this one. I love colouring, so I just enjoyed and watercolored these in. So once I've finished watercolouring them in, I bring some Wink of Stella brushes in, and I'll list them in my blog, and it helps sparkle the actual stamping a little bit in the watercoloring. So I use the white, the clear, and then there's also this pink tone, this deep pink tone of Wink of Stella, which I place over the red just to deepen that red a little bit more. And the reason why I use the white, especially here right now, is that to make the bottle look white, and then I bring in my clear just to add some little bit of shimmer and sparkle as well. Now I really enjoyed this Wink of Stella, and I had neglected these markers a little bit, so I had to give them a good shake and then bring them to life again. So there was fun using these again. With crafting, you tend to rotate through your stock as much as you can, so you don't let them go funny. Now these have an actual coordinating die, the stamp set, which I love, because as much as I love fussy cutting, I do find it therapeutic. These were quick and simple tags to make. They took no time at all, and so I was in the mood just to make these tags and give some presents already. And I know it's early, but I was already starting to give presents out because it's that time of year, and I'm already preparing. As usual, if you know me well, I'm a very organized person and try to be organized and plan ahead. So running through my big shot, this gift tag, this wine tag die with craft cardstock, I'm going to put a tone-on-tone stamping. So this is why I've used a clear ink, and it just makes it look like the image is there without it being such a strong print. So I often do these for backgrounds if I just don't want it to be so strong. And as that dries, it gets lighter, but you can still see the actual background. So I'm just pennant cutting either side of these of the ribbon here, the Hessian ribbon, and just sizing it up. Once I'm happy with the size, I die cut from the banner from the W+9 Be Merry set, and I select a coloured paper here, which I've just chosen the spotted green. This is it's a very lovely Christmas paper pad to use because it has some good traditional colours. Sometimes I shy away from the traditional colours, but today it's just such a simple gift tag set that I just had to go with it. It was just fun to do. It was easy. There was not much thinking involved. It was just plain simple crafting fun. So bringing the sepia ink back in so I can stamp this jolly sentiment from W+9 here, and I'm going to stamp this towards the right of the tag because I'm going to place the actual the bottle or the spirit bottle that I've done on the left hand side here. To make that secure even more, I've just used my Tim Holtz stapler, the mini stapler, I forgot what it's called, tiny attacher, that's it. So it secures that tag a little bit more. So I just adhere that down to the paper using some liquid adhesive, and then I bring in some Couture Creations 3D foam squares. I love how tiny these squares are, especially for the intricate dies. It really is a strong foam adhesive, and it is fantastic to fit into those little nooks and crannies. Now I don't want the ribbon to go anywhere, and so I've chosen a red line tape that is very strong adhesive. I didn't want to use liquid because I find with fabric, anything fabric, it just seeps through for this particular liquid, so that's why I've brought in the red line tape. And of course red line tape has sometimes a little bit of grief when it getting the layer off, but once it's done, it's stuck on for good. So there's today's card. This tag creation, it's just so simple. I made up a bunch of these for teachers' presents and work colleagues, so it just comes in really handy. So there you go. I've made a couple here to show, and I hope you enjoyed today's creation, and don't forget to leave a comment and say hello. Thanks everyone. See ya.